Imagine, for a moment, that you are the government of a proud, modern nation. You have just emerged from a devastating world war, your veterans are returning home, and the future is uncertain. And then your country is invaded, not by a foreign army, but by an army of birds, nearly 20,000 strong, marching across your farmlands, destroying your crops, and laughing, yes, laughing, in your face. This is not a fable. This is the true story of the Great Emu War, a conflict so bizarre it feels like satire. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is the Curiosity Compendium. In 1932, Australia was in the grip of the Great Depression. To help settle veterans, the government gave them land in Western Australia to farm wheat. But these ex-soldiers faced a new, unexpected enemy. The emu, a flightless bird standing nearly 6 feet tall, fast, sturdy, and hungry, was migrating, and their path cut right through these new farmlands. Thousands of emus descended, trampling fences, devouring crops, and leaving ruin in their wake. The farmers, battle-hardened men, had survived the trenches of World War I. Now, they were being routed by birds. Desperate, they petitioned the government for help, and the government, in its wisdom, decided the solution was to send in the army. Yes, you heard that right. The Australian government, led by Minister of Defence Sir George Pearce, deployed soldiers with machine guns to wage war on the emus. The mission was assigned to Major G.P.W. Meredith of the Royal Australian Artillery. He and 2 soldiers, armed with 2 Lewis guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition, marched into the outback with orders to cull the emu population and a mandate to collect their feathers for hats. The stage was set for a swift and decisive military victory. It did not go as planned. The military's first engagement was a masterpiece of farce. They spotted a herd of perhaps 1,000 emus and lay in ambush. But the emus, clever and erratic, split into small, scattered groups that ran at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. The machine gun fire was largely ineffective against these fast, dispersed targets. The birds, it seemed, had their own guerrilla tactics. Next, the soldiers tried mounting a gun on a truck, hoping to chase the emus down. But the terrain was rough, the trucks couldn't keep up, and the gunners couldn't aim properly while bouncing over the bush. They managed to chase a small group, only to have the gun jam after felling a dozen birds. The emus, unfazed, vanished into the landscape. After 6 days of campaigning, Major Meredith's report was a portrait of defeat. He noted that each emu seemed to have a field marshal's brain. They had used thousands of rounds of ammunition for a confirmed kill count of maybe a few hundred birds. The media back home had a field day, lampooning the military's failure. Parliament recalled the troops. The Great Emu War was over. The birds had won. But here's the fascinating twist. The farmers, seeing the emus were still a problem, actually asked for the soldiers to come back. And they did. In a second campaign, Major Meredith returned and, employing more patience and less truck chasing, had somewhat better results. Over the next few years, the government would actually institute a bounty system for emus, which proved far more effective than machine guns. In the end, the emu population persisted, thriving even. Today, the emu stands proudly on the Australian coat of arms, alongside another flightless bird, the kangaroo, a permanent, feathered monument to their victory. This story is often told as a silly historical joke, but to me, it's a profound lesson in unintended consequences and the hubris of control. Here was a government that thought a complex ecological and economic problem, wildlife migration intersecting with human agriculture, could be solved with the simple, brute force of a machine gun. The emus, creatures of instinct and adaptation, didn't follow the rules of warfare. They followed the rules of nature, which are often more powerful. It's a reminder that when we declare war on a natural system, we had better be prepared for a very unconventional enemy. Sometimes, the most intelligent response isn't escalation, but a step back, a dose of humility, and a different strategy altogether. Thank you for joining me for this curious chapter of history. For more deep dives into the wonderfully strange, remember to subscribe. This is Ibnul J. Farabi. The Curiosity Compendium is a production of Light Not Studios. Visit us at https://www.lightnotstudios.com.